Welcome to the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast for startups, small and growing nonprofits. This podcast is here to help you build your nonprofit from the ground up on a strong foundation. So every episode, we say it every time, we give you the frameworks, the tools, and the personalized guidance that you need to create lasting impact in your nonprofit for years to come. My name is Matt Stockman. I'm a nonprofit growth coach, and I am thrilled you're here at Nonprofit Launch Plan. We believe that every nonprofit has got to be operating at peak performance in 6 key areas in order to be successful. And those 6 areas are leadership, fundraising, marketing, programs and services, operations, and finances. So every episode of the podcast, we talk about a topic that is core to one of these 6 areas. And on this week's episode, it's a bit of a departure from what I normally share with you on the podcast. I always try to make things as practical as possible. This one is a little bit more inspirational and intellectual, but I think it will be a memorable moment in the birth and or growth of your nonprofit. This week's episode is a little bit different because it's a little bit more personal, and it has to do with you and I committing to going on a journey together, arms locked with one another. And this journey, even if we never fully realize it, and you'll understand what I mean by that in just a moment, it will end up as a significantly impacted world for good that you and I get to be a part of together. Because after all, that's why all of us got into nonprofit work to begin with. You've seen a need, you've seen an injustice, you've seen an opportunity to make somebody's life better than it was. And you felt a sense deep down of, I can do something about this. And then your nonprofit or the idea for your nonprofit was born in that moment. A few weeks back, I did an episode about crafting a vision statement for your organization. Remember the difference between a mission statement and a vision statement. Mission statements are all about why you exist, and vision statements are the reimagined, better future out there where the world is a better place because of the impact your nonprofit has made. And we said a couple of specific things about a good vision statement. One, they were inspiring and aspirational. In other words, when people hear it, they say, yes, I want to be a part of that too, and I want that too. Good vision statements are future focused. They take us out 20 or 50 or even 100 years into a future and paint a picture of what a world impacted by your nonprofit could look like. They're clear and concise and memorable, only one potent sentence. And most importantly, internally, a good vision statement should scare you just a little bit because it should be so big that you might never completely achieve it. So since doing that episode, I've really been mulling over what the vision statement for this podcast and for the Nonprofit Launch Plan coaching business that I'm just getting off the ground should be. So I've been doing a lot of thinking and writing and listening and searching over the last few weeks. And I wanted to take the balance of this episode to share what I've come up with and then to invite you to join in to be a part of it with me. So here's what I've come up with. And honestly, even putting it in a podcast is a bit of a scary thought because this vision statement is pretty freaky big. And so saying it out loud into a recording means that you and other people are then going to hear it. So now I'm sort of committed. But, you know, doing hard things is part of a fulfilled life, right? So here we go. This is the vision statement for Nonprofit Launch Plan that I've come up with. The vision for Nonprofit Launch Plan is to empower 10,000 nonprofits worldwide that will each commit to impacting at least 10,000 people so that together we improve the lives of 100 million people globally. Empowering 10,000 nonprofits who each commit to impacting at least 10,000 people so that together we improve the lives of 100 million people globally. I'm calling this the 100 Million Impact Initiative, and this is a big deal. First of all, it's inspiring and aspirational. Hopefully when you hear it, I'm banking on this actually. Hopefully when you hear it, you say, yeah, I want my nonprofit to be a part of this. It's future oriented. This is not going to happen anytime soon. it might possibly not even happen in my lifetime. I'm 60 years old. I only got so many years left of this. So it may be bigger than me. It's clear and concise and memorable. Just one super potent, powerful, impactful sentence. And quite frankly, it scares the daylights out of me. So according to my vision statement framework, I think this is a really great vision statement. So my question to you is, do you want to join me? Do you want your nonprofit to be a part of the 100 Million Impact Initiative? No doubt you're listening to this podcast because you've got a dream for a nonprofit, or you're a part of a nonprofit that is growing, or you're hoping that it will grow, or you're taking over something and trying to take it to a new level. And whatever it is, what's driving you is that desire to see people's lives changed. And my dream and my desire with Nonprofit Launch Plan is to come alongside you and help you with the tools and the insights and the expertise that I have that's been born out of a lot of experience and a lot of, figuratively speaking, bloody noses from mistakes that will help you reach at least 10,000 people with the impact that your nonprofit is meant to make. So my question again is, if that's your dream for your nonprofit, to reach at least 10,000 people in some way or another, will you join with me in the 100 Million Impact Initiative? I just want to be able to count your nonprofit as part of the community that we are going to build together. This community of impact makers, this community of world changers. So if you're in, here's what I need for you to do. Just send me an email that just says, I'm in. My email address is matt@nonprofitlaunchplan.com. Matt, M-A-T-T, at nonprofitlaunchplan.com. You can just put in the subject line, I'm in. And that's good enough. Now, if you have more time and you can tell me a little bit about what your nonprofit situation is like, the journey you're on, what you're doing, what you dream about doing, the more detail, the better. But if you don't have time for that and all you can do is just go, I'm in, on a subject line of an email and shoot it to me, I'm going to count you in as part of this 100 Million Impact Initiative. Again, my email address is matt@nonprofitlaunchplan.com. It's free, just like the podcast is free. If you get value from the podcast, I would just love for you to be a part of this 100 Million Impact Initiative. It's not a business opportunity, or it's not a pitch for you. This is just about you and I uniting together with all the other nonprofit leaders that are a part of this podcast. And together we kind of start tracking the impact on the world that we're making together, and we help each other to do it more effectively. I am working on some resources and some stuff behind the scenes that will actually bring even more value to this whole initiative. More to come on what that actually means in the week ahead. And frankly, I probably should have waited until I had all those things strategized and mapped out before I even brought this to you in a podcast episode. But I'm so excited about this. I just wanted to be able to share this idea with you today and see if you just might be into it as well. Now, the other day, I did have a listener to the podcast ask, how do I hire you? So although I really want the podcast overall to be of value to you, even if we never work together, I do want to take a moment to tell you about a couple of different ways that I work with nonprofit clients just like you. Essentially, my signature coaching offer is what I call the Nonprofit Launch Plan, hence the name of the business. It's a series of 3 virtual 90-minute meetings where we take a deep dive into your nonprofit, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we really put a microscope to how your nonprofit is performing inside the 6 key areas that I've built this entire coaching business on. And those 6 areas are leadership, fundraising, marketing, programs and services, operations, and finances. So we do 3 meetings together. You can have whoever you want from your team on those meetings. And after those 3 meetings, then I deliver to you a customized, individual, detail-rich, written launch plan that gives you all the high-level strategy for your nonprofit, as well as all the tactics, the to-dos, and all of the individual components that you need to either get your nonprofit off the ground or to the next level, all the way down to writing emails for you if that's what you need. Here's the thing, that plan is individually written and created for your specific nonprofit, for the unique challenges that you're facing. And I also add a couple of follow-up one-on-one coaching sessions throughout the course of the next year to just check in with you and see how you're doing on the plan and what adjustments we need to make. That's all included in the price. The price for the launch plan is $24.95. But for listeners of the podcast, I take $295 off the price. So that makes the launch plan for you $2,200, which is really reasonable for even nonprofits at the very, very beginning of their journey. And I guarantee you, you're going to get at least 10x value from this. Now, in addition, I do offer coaching by the hour. I do day-long in-person workshops for your whole team where we really get down and solve some big problems. I also do coaching on a monthly retainer as well. We can talk about all those things if you want to reach out and connect with me. Friends, that is it for today's episode of the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast. Thank you so much for indulging me in this sort of not so typical edition of the podcast. And I really hope that you'll catch the vision and join with me in the 100 Million Impact Initiative. Just email me with the words "I'm in" somewhere in your email. You can just put it in the subject line if you want. Of course, I'd love to know a bit more about your nonprofit dream or your situation. And again, my email is matt@nonprofitlaunchplan.com. Now, next week on the podcast, AI has been such a big topic in business and nonprofit for the last several months, but it can really be a source of a lot of anxiety, a lot of concern, a lot of questions, a lot of curiosity, and quite honestly, some fear. What can you use it for? How can you utilize it? How can you capitalize on it, but stay safe, keep your data and information safe? What possibilities are there for tapping into the technology and the tools that are out there, especially when you're a small nonprofit with little time and even less budget? My friend David Waters is the principal at Simple and Engaging, which is a company that specializes in helping nonprofits like yours leverage technology and AI to create affordable and a lot of times free automations and processes that will help you get more efficient and more streamlined and help you to make more impact. David is a great conversation, and we'll dive in with David in next week's episode of the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on that and all the other upcoming episodes. And if you found this to be helpful, please share it with another nonprofit leader who might benefit. And again, thank you so much for listening to the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast for startups, small and growing nonprofits. Until next time, keep making a difference.